was the holiday party yesterday?
It was great. It was, you know, all the kids in the team were there yesterday. The kids from the community. It's probably the most important thing we can do for the city at this time of year, to give to less fortunate. You know, I know my family and I, we have a Christmas party for a group of kids. I know Kyle has a Christmas gift for schools. So we try to do as much as possible at this time of year. And like I tell the players, this is far more important than basketball. I mean, wins and losses, they're going to come and go. Players and coaches are going to come and go. But the spirit and giving at Christmas time for the less fortunate is so much more important than anything we can do.
Yak got a little bit under the weather?
He did. Yak was under the weather today, and Kyle had a personal day today that was scheduled for like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So we had a couple of guys out today, but everybody else went, had a good spirited practice, and worked on some things, and, you know, again, trying to continue to get better. He's still shooting. He's shooting now. Excuse me. And he's coming along. No timetable yet, Doug, but he's in here working his behind off, trying to get back in and get ready to go.
Do you have a sense of how long you might be without Lucas?
Don't know. That's another one. You know, just still waiting to see how he comes along. I know he had the similar injury last year, and it was a while, so there's no timetable on him either.
Dwane, how closely do you pay attention to another team's schedule? Phoenix is coming in here.
Cleveland schedule, Phoenix.
Phoenix. We can talk about Cleveland.
No, I don't want to talk about that.
But you know, Phoenix coming here is last game of the trip, third and four nights.
You see that. You know, we understand the schedule, how many games they've played in the number of days, and you know, you try to watch that. But again, we got to take care of who we are. Like I said yesterday, Michael, this team has come in the last couple of years and beat us. And at that time, they weren't playing particularly well. At that time, we had them 1 year on a back-to-back. And, you know, we didn't come in and take care of business. And no matter who we're playing, whether it's Phoenix or whoever it is, Cleveland, doesn't matter. We got to come in with a sense of urgency that, you know, our backs are against the wall. Because if you look at the Eastern Conference, it's tight. You know, a couple of bad games and you're outside looking in. So we've got to play with that type of sense of urgency and that's take care of business ourselves.
And you noticed the NBA tried to sort of make the schedule a little bit more player-friendly, sleep-friendly?
No question. Yeah, no. Well, I've noticed the number of practice days we've had. We've had far more practice days. And again, which is very difficult. It seems like, oh, you should go out and just practice, but it's harder because you got to make sure you manage the rest, to manage the legs, to manage the energy the guys expend. You can't treat it like a training camp, or you know, you do away with the gift that the schedule is giving you. So we had a good day yesterday. A lot of individual work, film work. Today was more team-oriented. So we've had to be creative in how we manage the practice days instead of just going out thinking that we have another training camp, which would defeat the purpose.
Dwane was saying yesterday that there seems to be a big sense of pride in that group, like a togetherness that's sort of unusual. Is that just from the summertime you guys spent so much time together?
Yeah, I think it's mostly from the summertime, and even like just from last year, you know, I mean, especially Siakam, Fred, you know, we got drafted together. I mean, Fred didn't get drafted, but he was in our group, you know, all together and stuff. But so we hung out a lot last year, and we do the same this year. And then during the summer, you know, it just helped that we were all together. You know, we had those little camps in LA and stuff where we're all together and just hanging out. Like, we just enjoy each other's company and stuff. So it's easier on the court just to play because, you know, we kind of know each other. We're still figuring out like everybody, but I think we know for the most part we know each other.
It's sort of unusual given all your backgrounds and your circumstances that you've become such good friends away from the basketball.
Not really. I mean, like, this is, if you think about it, it's all great guys, man. Like, everyone has a story, and like every story is different, and I think we can just relate in just like different ways where it's like it's easy to just talk and you know, all hang out.
Pascal, specifically with you and Jakob, when you hit him with a high-low or you're cutting and hit him with the dump-off, the stuff that you guys work on every day, how much fun is it when that actually works in the game? You see it?
I mean, even when he started appreciating my passing, you know, maybe we'll talk about that. I don't know. He doesn't appreciate what I do, but it's all good. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's great, man. Like I think, like you said, you know, we work out together. We're good friends, and I think it's just good. Like the fact that we work out together. So we work on these things, and be able to do that in the game is just like, it just shows you that, you know, you got to keep doing that. And yeah, it's great. It's great. It feels good. I mean, I always feel good if I can give him like a bucket or something like that. That makes me feel good, even if he doesn't appreciate it.
In all seriousness, though. Stop and say thanks every time?
Nah, he doesn't. He says bad passes, but I'm like, all right, whatever.
It does seem like one of your biggest areas of growth this year is passing and ball handling. Is that something that comes with the experience of having played in the league for a year, or is that something specifically that you worked on over the summer?
I think it's something that I'm working on. I mean, like, I don't want to like limit myself to like just, you know, like be an energy guy or whatever it might be. You know, I want to like expand my game, and I'm a hard worker, so I believe that, you know, all the time that I spend in the gym, you know, I might as well use that to you know, develop my game. And if you think about it, I started playing basketball late, so I have a lot of things I have to learn, and I'm still learning every day.
How do you work on something like passing? I mean, obviously, to get better as a shooter, you lock yourself in a gym and you shoot. Yeah. But are there things that you can do, especially in the summer when you're working by yourself or with other guys?
Yeah. I mean, like, we do ball handling, we passing, and stuff like that, and even just like watching the game, right? Like, the more you get familiar with the game, the more basketball you watch, you know, the better you get on reads and stuff like that. So that helps too.
Casey said the other night that he could see you eventually evolving into like a 2-3-4, being able to guard those guys on the wing. Is that what you sort of see for yourself as well?
I definitely see that. You know, like I'm definitely like a basketball player, and I can play in like a lot of positions, especially if I can guard people. Like, so that's how I see it. You know, I'm working on my lateral quickness and things like that. That's just gonna help me the way the game is going right now, and just like don't have like a position, you know, right? Like just play and be able to guard different position, and you know, as my shot evolves, you know, it's gonna give me like more, you know, things to do.
Well, yeah, as your shot evolves, you become more of a wingman, secondary ball handler kind of guy, like a 2-3.
Yeah, I mean that's the goal. I mean, why not, right?
Yeah.
So.
Pascal, tomorrow some of the 905 guys might get a chance to do the doubleheader that you did last year, 2 games at the same day at the ACC. What was that experience like for you last year?
I mean, I didn't really, to be honest. I don't know how special that was, because I mean, I was going to some 905 and stuff playing. You know, you can always get like, you know, you don't really want to do it or whatever. But you know, I think it's great, man. Like, it just shows, you know, that how the G League has evolved, and the things that they do out there, and seeing guys that have been in the G League that go to the NBA and play and do good. So it's always great.
I always joked about it early on, but now, you know, I kind of really do. You know, you look around and you see guys that, you know, was young, that was kids coming up in basketball. Now you see them be able to be high school stars, go to college, be stars, and, you know, be young guys in the league. You know, it's crazy to think about it. You know, even when I look back at all my favorite players that I played against growing up, and mostly majority of all of them is out the league, you know, so it's crazy when I really sit down and think about it.
Because I remember when they drafted you, they started you, and you had a bunch of veterans around you. Yeah. When you look back at that time, how impactful was that, knowing that there were a lot of veterans to show you the ropes?
I mean, it was crazy for me, because I was my first time being away from home. I was young. I didn't know nothing about snow, the cold. I didn't know nothing about how do you conversate with these old guys. What is it that you can relate with? The intensity, the aggression of everything was so different, because you used to be around guys your age, or, you know, you being more superior than them when it comes to, you know, your basketball game. So, you know, it was everything for me. It was my biggest learning process, you know, in basketball my rookie year.
What's the difference between having OG and Norm in the starting lineup for the starting group?
Norm able to do so much, you know, and it becomes, you know, limited sometimes when he out there with me and Cal. You know, give OG the chance to fill himself out and understand his role and things he's able to do. I'm not saying there's nothing that Norm can't do, but, you know, Norm is a lot more seasoned in understanding what to do. You know, he been in the biggest moments of playing, and, you know, he could bring that to a group that's that may need it, and it's been fitting in well perfectly with the second group. So it's just some OG, some he's understanding, filling it out, understanding his role and growing into that as well. So
I guess OG is not what Frank was talking about. OG is sort of like you now, playing with 4 vets in the starting lineup.
Yeah. It is, but I think it'd be something that would be beneficial for him. He's learning, he's understanding, he's getting a lot more comfortable, he's getting a lot more talkative, and it's going to be a lot of. Yeah. Like last few days, I heard him say the most words I heard him say, since he been here, but wow. It says a lot. I mean, I look back at me, I was quiet too, I didn't say much when I was a kid and everything, but it's good to see him growing out of that, and then, you look at it from the standpoint of, later down the season, how you're going to be next year, 5 years from now and everything, and that's the beauty of it.
Does having him out there take defensive pressure off you guys?
For sure, he's definitely tremendous at the things and the capabilities that he have that I don't even think he realized he's able to do now. We call him a more athletic PJ Tucker. When you think about it, and how big, strong he is, and the way he battled, he got quick hands. Everything. It reminds me a lot of a PJ. And for him to be young and have the knack that he has now, is definitely big.
I don't think people realize how thick he is, and how rookies are supposed to be skinny young kids.
No, he's. I remember we was playing in training camp and he hit me, and it felt like I was battling with a grown man, and just to see that his physical form and everything, it's just not a look. He carries it around as well.
How good can he be, do you think?
I think he can be as good as he want to be, and you can see it, some things, I try to tell him here and there, but, understand, don't never take these opportunities for granted, learn and accept the good, the bad, everything with it, because it's going to play out in the long run for your development. It's the same thing I went through, and, it's great that he's able to do it, in a winning situation, in a winning environment.
He's coming off a knee injury, DeMar. Do you see moments where you can see that explosion?
Yeah, he just was in there. They was just in there throwing lobs to him, and it was incredible how easy he do it. I don't think he understands how easy he could do it, but once he grasps and understands his capabilities, it's gonna be crazy.
You saw the way he came back, or the way he first started in his first games back from that injury. He came back quicker than we all thought. Does that just show his personality? He's just kind of fearless out there. There was never any hesitation toward driving or dunking or any of those.
Yeah, it's nothing. Only hesitation he has is to talking. So and it shows. So
you're gonna see Jay this week, who's back as a head coach again. What was he like for you here?
Jay was big for me, and understanding, first of all, giving me an opportunity. I was the only rookie on the team that started, that played, that I was entrusted. It wasn't like I was playing with young guys. I was playing with a lot of seasoned veterans at that time, and to throw me out there and give me the opportunity to play everything. Even my second year, I remember that's what really, he gave me the confidence my second year to be the scorer that I am today. 'Cause I remember it was a lot of games. He told me if I don't shoot the ball, he's gonna take me out. And that gave me a confidence. Being 20, 21 years old, to hear your head coach tell you that, it gave me everything. So.
And letting kids play through mistakes is a mark of a coach with development in mind.
Yeah, and he always did that. He never held me back. He never told me not to do something. He told me, even if you fail, continue just to keep going at it. And that was big for me.
You look at the Phoenix team he's got, it's a lot of young kids, kind of like you were coming in. Booker and those rookies, I imagine it helps them.
Yeah, it helps them. And Jay, it's a personality about Jay that, that's so positive that, makes you want to be at work and make you want to do all the things that he asks from you, and he, in a sense, kind of a player coach as well. The things he was doing, it was so long ago, and I was so young, and I didn't understand. I just thought the whole league was like that, But now looking back on it, Jay was definitely one of them guys to where I could understand young guys at Phoenix probably feel comfortable, want to go out there and play, want to be better, and everything that come with that.
The other night, Jakob was talking to us after the game, and he was talking about the differences for him between playing with Dwane, who he's familiar with, and now Fred. We always talk about big men taking a bit longer sometimes to get comfortable. When you look at him and just the way he thinks about the game, is it impressive how fast he's able to adjust and learn things?
Yeah, this is his second year.
Yeah.
And sometimes I forget that because it seems like he's been here longer. The knowledge that he brings, the things that he understands out there on the court, and you see it in the games early on this year, in big moments, big situations where he played, and the positives he left out there for us on both ends of the floor, and that's big for a young guy to have that type of knack.
DeMar, did Jay help you in any fundamental aspect of the game? Your release?
Yeah, one thing about Jay, Jay always used to do these trick shots all through practice and everything, and he used to tell me, this is how you got to hold your form, this is how you got to follow through and all this. It was always jokingly. He was quick to show you something about his jump shot, and he could shoot. No matter if he was shooting from behind the basket or whatever it was. And I remember one practice, we was in the practice arena, in the practice gym in the arena, and you know how they got all the courts? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 courts. I remember he said he made, without missing, 5 shots in a row on all court. He picked a certain spot on the floor and shot at each basket and made like 5 out of the 6 baskets or something. I was just like, just seeing stuff like that, your head coach doing that, and it was like, let me work on my shot too so I could try something like this. So. I've probably seen Dwane take 4 jump shots since he's been my coach. He got a great form, but he's not going to shoot it all the time.